In the previous episode, I sailed from Carriacou at the northern end of the country of Grenada through the smaller Grenadine Islands to St. Vincent. Here I continue north by sailing on the eastern side of St. Vincent to the next large island of St. Lucia. Going up the sheltered western side of St. Vincent would have required motoring for several hours in the lee of its high mountains, followed by a hard beat upwind. So I preferred the somewhat shorter and certainly more enjoyable sailing in the easterly trades on the eastern side of the island, the only time I made this choice in the Caribbean.
I'm leaving St. Vincent a little bit before dawn. It's Tuesday the 20th of May, headed to St. Lucia, but it's a long trip, full day sail. Yeah, it wasn't the best visit to St. Lucia. I was ill most of the time, and then my attempt at an outing to Montreal Gardens failed. And it looked really nice this morning from the anchorage, but now I'm going to go right into a squall. Oh well, it's rained every morning since I've been here. No surprise. Oh, it's 2 hours later now. We're making great progress. That point over there is the middle of the island. You can see the clouds are completely covering the island. There is no way you'd want to go try to hike the Soufrière volcano. You wouldn't see a thing, plus it would be sodden. But look how green everything is, and all the houses back here along the coast. The airport is back behind us there. And we cut a pretty close corner on the rocks off the point at the airport there. I wasn't totally happy with it, but being a lee shore, but we got hit by a squall when we were tacking out into the passage, the crossing between Bequia and St. Vincent, and we had to tack. I'll show you on the chart. There's the miserable mess that we made of coming from Bequia to St. Vincent. There's our tack. Didn't even get halfway across the channel. I wanted to go halfway. So I was pretty close at the rocks there, but anyway, yeah, we're doing great. 1,500 RPM. We have staysail, we have the jib, we have triple reef main, and we're doing 67 knots. Hey, you can't complain about that. It's now 8 o'clock in the morning, 2.5 hours in. You see we've done well. We're more than halfway past St. Vincent. They're off just a little bit because turned the engine off and we're still doing great speed. Look at this. We've got to have some current with us. Whole speed is 7 and we're doing 6 to 8 here. And that current is probably setting us west a little bit, hence our course curving here a little bit so. But the good thing is that the breeze typically goes a little southeast in the daytime. And so I've been able to head up 5 degrees. We'll see how much that compensates. You see here we've got about 25, 26 miles to go. And if we can't make it to View Fort, which is where we're headed right now, and go up here to Soufrière and the Pitons, and an hour extra distance, but if we can't hold our course against the current, that's our option. Oh, we've passed the end of St. Vincent, way over there. I'm not even going to try to show you St. Lucia because I can't see it. But yeah, we're doing great. I've taken the tiller autopilot off because there's really lumpy seas for a while and it's not very comfortable with that. So we're going with the wind pilot, which it's struggling a little bit. I need to tighten it up a little bit, but it steers us well, of course. We'll see, we're still doing awfully well, high above our course. Pretty soon I'm going to feel more confident and bear off a little bit. And we're still doing great speed. It's crazy. 6 to 8 knots. So it's still got some current with us. And there's our goal. What have we got now? 20 miles to go. Excellent. About halfway across the channel, and we still must have some current with us because we're doing 8, 9, sometimes 10 knots. That's pretty crazy, but I'm not complaining. Here's our sail setup. Be way too windy, I'll have to voice over this little clip. We have the working jib, staysail, second reef in the main. Yeah, we're doing great. Sea change loves these conditions. Well, now it's 10 o'clock. We're halfway across the channel. We're still doing crazy speeds, 8 knots. So we'll be there by noon. Very cool. Now down to 11. And we're still pointing pretty high. The current is taking us west as usual when we get close to these islands. But we're still doing 7 knots. It's been blowing 15 to 20 all day. It's been perfect. We're going in here to, I don't know how to pronounce it, something like.
Beaufort is the main harbour on St. Lucia and is at the extreme south end of the island. So I anchored out of the way of commercial traffic in the bay. There is no easy dinghy access, so I had to tie my dinghy to their decaying concrete dock. But I was only there to check in, which required a taxi trip to the nearby airport, as all customs and immigration officials were dealing with incoming flights.
Well, I'm near the airport where I had to check in, do immigration. This building and the buildings along the shore here are all thoroughly trashed. I'm not sure which hurricane, but it wasn't Beryl. This is much older than Beryl. And man, the beaches here are just covered with sargasso these days. It stinks. Down there is a fancy big resort, Coconut Beach Resort. And I'm not sure how they're dealing with it. And way at the end there is actually quite a nice beach. That's supposed to be a kite surfing center there. But as usual, the trades are very gentle. It was nice sailing here today, although it eased up at the end. And there's nothing worth it. These 2 islands here are a nature reserve. You're not even allowed to anchor near them. This is the road to and from the airport to the town, and I'm on the far side. After getting checked in at Viewfort, that anchorage was really rolly. Decided to come 4 or 5 miles west to a little village called Labari. Look at these splendid houses. Wow, and this one on the right, I believe is a B&B or some sort of hotel. Beautiful setup. But these 2 cats and one that has gone out to sea into the squall over there, apparently taking people for sunset sails. And as usual, there's an unhappy sailboat washed up on the shore. I don't know, maybe from Beryl. Apparently they had some big swells come through here. A lot of the beach fronts are messed up. Oh man, there's a place up on the hill here. Look at that up on the hill. And then down this way, you can't see them. We're too far into the bay, but the pitons are over there. Sue free, and I'll be there tomorrow.
Labari was a pleasant little village, and I had a huge chicken dinner on shore. After a very rolly night, I headed on north to a famed anchorage between 2 high and steep hills called the Pitons.
I've had a lazy sail down here, just using the jib. Here's the Grand Piton. Petit Piton is on the other side, so I'm going to try and get a mooring in between the 2 without too much hassle, I hope. Oh, it's a pity about the cloudy day. This is Gros Piton. There's Petit Piton. Reading accounts of people who claim they do a hike up that. A little hard to believe. There are believable accounts of a hike up this. I think it's 2,600 feet. Not sure I'm up for that. But we'll see. There's mooring balls in here maintained by rangers of a marine park you have to pay for. So we'll see how this goes.
Anchoring would be difficult in this bay called Anse de Piton because of the steep drop-off along the shore, so the park provides 10 moorings for $20 a night. There is a large resort at the end of the bay called Sugar Resort, and they welcome visitors by boat from the nearby town of Soufriere as well as sailors. From there I hiked a ridiculously steep road up to the neck between Gros Piton and the rest of the island.
Alright, so I'm on St. Lucia. See the ocean back there, you won't be able to see it, but there's a sailboat going along nicely. And a funny little rotocopter thing up there too. Noisy. And I'm hiking up the road that comes to Sugar Beach Resort. At least I believe this is the road, although probably there's another one out the other side. It is unbelievably steep. I've hiked some steep roads in Vanuatu and the east coast of Australia and Queensland. This is crazy steep. And there's Petit Piton. It's nice, there's lots of birds. And it just keeps going. And here is Gros Piton. Apparently there's a trail to the top, but man, I'm not up for that. It's 2,600 feet.
Over the top of the neck, I came to the starting point of the trail to the top of Gros Piton, and while resting there, I watched several of the largest species of hummingbird in the Caribbean, the purple-throated carib, a truly gorgeous bird. This picture from the web.
I'm headed down again. This is 850 feet coming up this road. There's Petit Piton there. Some locals have houses up here. Well, in this case, had. And spectacular view. And then this absurdly steep road going down. I'm taking as long to go down as to come up. So you have to take very small steps. Anyway, I made it all the way to the Gros Piton Nature Trail Center. They want $50 to hike the trail. I don't have that much money with me, but in any case, by then my legs were shot. So that was another 1,600 from there. I wasn't going to be able to do that. And yeah, things get abandoned. Imagine putting a house right there. An incredible view. And there's Gros Piton. I got to be careful not to fall over here. There's Gros Piton. The hike is on the other side. Hey, what a place. What a place.
I still find it hard to believe there is a hike up Petit Piton, but it sure made for a lovely setting for the sunset.
About 7 in the morning, and left the Pitons about an hour ago. And we were headed up the coast of St. Lucia, aiming for a big bay at the north end called Rodney Bay, so that tomorrow I can clear out and go over to Martinique. And of course I expected to have a wind shadow, but I didn't really know what the options are. It's the first big island that I've motored on the west side of, motor sail. So either I could stay close to shore where it's very calm and enjoy a bit of the scenery. Right now I'm sort of in the middle. I'm a mile out from shore and we really don't have much breeze, so the sails are not helping. I'm not even bothering to put the mainsail up. And I see two boats coming down. They're about another mile at least out, and they have full sail up, but you just don't know whether they're motor sailing or not. So not sure what approach. It's 20 miles. At the speed we're doing, 4 knots, it'll take 5 hours. Alright, now it's 8:30, and it was very slow going for a while behind those mountains. Doing 2 to 3 knots. But now, we've got a decent breeze coming over the low hills. The sail's pulling well. We are doing 4, 5, 6 knots. We're almost halfway, a little bit less. And this is despite pulling the dinghy. So yeah, pretty happy. Should be there by noon, the latest. Now it's 10:30. We've done very well. We had a strong breeze like this, doing 5 to 6 knots for the last 2 hours. And we're entering Rodney Bay. It's a major navigation hazard on the way in. This rock's called Barrel of Beef. Don't ask me why. Barrel of Beef. Behind us, large catamaran just motoring its way up. They must be motoring at 6 or 7 knots because they've caught us. Yeah, pretty impressive.
Here's our track into the anchorage in Rodney's Bay, a popular spot where I would be able to check out.
Oh, this is Rodney Bay. There's the marina up on the left there. Go in there to check out tomorrow morning. But yeah, it's a weird place because there's one huge hotel here, defunct, falling apart. Another one torn down in the middle here. And yet another one with this yellow wall, defunct. And apparently there's some big dude investor is going to build a massive 5-star hotel across the entire beach. Meanwhile over here, my neighbor is from Texas. And on this side they're building a new marina. Other neighbors are from Holland, Germany, Holland, France, Canada. There's another big resort on the other side there, 2 of them actually. USA, Canada.
In the offshore wind, this was not really a suitable place to go kiting, but I was getting desperate, so gave it a go from this beach, but ended up having to be dragged back to shore by a kind local boat. That night, a large squall, luckily with the same wind direction, stretched out the anchor chain, as shown by the secondary arc of our movement. In the next episode, I continue north to the French island of Martinique.